This is my 2002 Toyota 4Runner Sport SR5 Edition. Now, if you're new to the channel or if you haven't really followed along on the channel and you're here for a fast vehicle, this is not it. That would be the Mustang on the channel or any other vehicle, even the 2014 4Runner that has been on this. This vehicle with the 3.4 has about over 180 horsepower and right around 210 to maybe 20 foot-pounds of torque. So this is what you get when you buy one of these, a reliable 3.4. And they did even come in the 4 cylinders. Now, these vehicles suffer, the 4Runner itself for the 3rd gen that ran from 96 to 02 suffer from 3 things. The first one, mine doesn't, luckily it doesn't, and that's rust on the frame. If you do, buy one and you can clean up the rust if there's minimal rust on the vehicle, or spray the underneath and just keep it clean, you'll definitely keep the frame from rusting. Secondly, fuel economy. You're not going to really do much for fuel economy. These vehicles, if you do mod them, you're going to lose more fuel economy, as I have. So I probably, roughly before the lift got around 14 to 15. I'm guessing maybe 12 to 13 now with the lift and everything on the vehicle itself. So there's not really much you can do there besides maybe keeping your factory air filter clean so that you can, have that same fuel economy going. Now, the third biggest one that we're going to talk about is speed. These things are reliable. They're one of the most sought after SUV vehicles in the market today. They hold their value, they sell, they look good, they're rugged. You can do so much with them. You can use it as an everyday driver through the city, through towns, highways, and you can take this thing on a road trip and be just as comfortable as any other newer 4Runner, in my opinion. But it suffers from, it's not a fast vehicle. It doesn't get up to speed on the highway that fast. And it's just not meant to be fast whatsoever. It's really actually slow and sluggish until you get on the highway, from my experience of owning one of these. Now, that is maybe a turnaway or a downfall that the 4Runner itself suffered. Reliability, you get a bunch of reliability and then you kind of cut out the speed factor. I don't know. The newer 4Runners are, they're pretty quick for what they are, but still not the fastest vehicle. But when you talk about a 3rd gen, it's not fast at all. It's one of the, probably the biggest complaint besides a rusty frame amongst Toyota 4Runner owners. Now, there are a few things that you can do to, I guess, mitigate that or change it up a little bit. So one of the things that I actually do have in the cargo trunk of the vehicle is a tube. It is an air raid tube where you can replace the factory one and put this one on there and have a little better airflow. Now, is that really going to do anything? Probably not. And then you can go a step further and add a cold air intake. You can add a K&N, you can add a Volant cold air intake. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you're not going to really add that much horsepower. You might see 1 or 2 gains of horsepower, if that, have a really cool sound, but probably have better throttle response. The second thing you can do, which I will probably do in the near future, is you can switch out the rear gearing of the vehicle. Now, I don't know specifically if these did all come with 411s. I was told mine came with a 411 gear ratio from the person that works in the vehicle at Ironwood Automotive that is very familiar with these. And he said that you can always change the gearing and you'll have much better throttle response, and you'll get up to speed faster and be able to merge on the highway, no problem. Now, is that going to do anything to horsepower? No. So, coming from the Mustang itself, adding a different gear ratio definitely helps, but that's also depending on what application you want to go with. Now, the third and final step that you can do with some of these, that some of these did come with from the factory, is a supercharger. There are TRD Supercharger edition or 4Runners that came with a supercharger on them. Now, I've never seen one in person. I've never heard one in person, but I've seen them on various YouTube videos. Very cool. Now, is that something that I would invest, $5,000 to $6,000 into? And I don't even know how much horsepower you really net off that. Probably not. That's just my opinion. I don't know what really goes into it. I don't know how well the transmission holds up, and I don't know how well the engine itself holds up with the internal components, the block, how much boost you can run, and all that good stuff. I don't know much about it. From what I've seen, it's pretty easy. So the whole point of this video basically is talking about the lack of horsepower that the 4Runner has. But like I said, it's a great looking vehicle. It's just a great overall, all around vehicle that suffers from not having much horsepower. So that is always something that you can, look into and upgrade. I think it's pretty cool to actually have a supercharged Toyota 4Runner, but at the end of, tuning the vehicle and putting the blower in, and the, if you do it yourself or have a shop do it, which I would probably have a shop do it versus, doing it myself, is the price tag of that really worth the numbers that you gain from, an NA 4Runner to a boosted application? That I don't know. I'm still new to the Toyota game. Like I said, I've had this thing for a year, and this is how far I've come so far. And there's still, some things that I want to do here and there, like replace that little blinking light in the grill, and probably, switch out the gearing and stuff. But so far, so good. I think I've done pretty well. But at the end of the day, I don't look at this thing as, something fast. I have a fast car, a fast NA car, if you want to say, in certain terms. This thing is what I got it for. To look good, but to be able to do everything that I want to do. If I need to go off trail or go camping or something like that, I know that I have a reliable vehicle for that, or just going into city, traveling across the country for my job and all that good stuff. So it's just kind of some food for thought with that. I think overall a supercharged 4Runner or TRD Pro 4Runner, I think that's really cool. Don't get me wrong. I would do it if I had the extra money and this wasn't my everyday daily driver. But those that have it already, or those that are going to do it, kudos to you. I think it's really, really cool. So yeah, that's my little ranted video. I'm gonna get out of here. It's a little cold out, winter time now. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.